Just using my castlearts here on the Johanna Basford Enchanted Forest book. I chose this picture because it had a lot of space on it. There was a lot of big areas that I could colour in and I could sort of play around with. So the tree stump itself has got little bits of green on there to show it's a little bit mossy, and then I was playing around with these leaves that I'm colouring now just to sort of get a few different colours and a few different tones in there. I thought it would be quite a fun one to do. Thought I'd use a nice dark brown on here to make the ladder really stand out from the stump, so that you can see it's quite different. With the shading and the black, I done a lot darker at the top and it was a lot closer to the ladder, and then as we got down to the bottom, just as the ladder was going to be slightly further away from the stump, it was lighter and it was a little bit further away from the ladder. Using a scrap bit of paper, playing around with my colours to try and get the right colour for the mushrooms. I started off colouring the mushrooms in a warm grey colour, so it's very, very pale because I wanted a very pale mushroom, but it just wasn't reading the same way on the paper. As you can see, the pencil itself is quite light, so I decided to bring in a few more warmer tones. So I've got the peachy colours in there, just sort of getting a slight little orange hint and adding a bit more shadow, and then I go in with the darker grey just underneath to make it look a little bit more shadowy. like the way the door turned out on the stump. I felt that the way that I made some of it darker and curved it round so it wasn't just a straight line, as you curve it round, it made it look like the door was actually opening into the stump, and the shade was, I felt, in the right place. My good old trusty gouache. I never used to really use this. Mandy used to use it all the time. And it's only been since I've got into the backgrounds that I really see a need for it to do those super big areas, get a lot of colour down. I actually considered doing this background with pencil, but I honestly just took one look at it. Nah, not doing it. This, a tiny bit of gouache, honestly, a tiny little bit of water, play around with your colours. It doesn't have to be neat, it doesn't have to be precise. Splash it on, a little bit here, a little bit there, and you'll see in a little while we'll really start to put different colours together, different shades, get some brown in there, get some black in there, get a bit of green. It just really helps to kind of add to the effect of what's going on, and none of it has to be precise at all. It's only really been since I've had an understanding of ADHD that I've even finished a colouring page before. I always used to wonder why I can only get so far into it, and it's the rest of it is just, I find it overwhelming. Oh, great big bit of background here, what am I supposed to do? Doesn't matter, just put some colour down. The amazing thing about gouache as well is when we get to the top of it in a minute and I start doing the greens of the trees in the background, when I actually watered it down, I slopped some colour on, and when I actually watered it down, it was about 2 or 3 hours later. You just reactivate it again with a little bit of water and then start to move it around, and you can do it in your own time. I got so impatient with the small, delicate amounts of water that were coming out of the water brush. I did eventually go and get a little glass of water just to kind of load it up and move it about a little bit more. You can see here where I'm sort of rolling it all together, and it's just get some water on. You don't even need to be neat with gouache because it's watered down so easily. If you go over your lines, just keep on applying a little bit of water to it so that you can pull it off and just remove a bit of that colour. So this was an interesting one. I had the glass of water and I was merging all the background together with all of the green, and I went over a little bit of the branch that's coming out from the stump, and the colours almost started melting together, so almost like burnishing it and moving the colour around. These are my castle art pencils, and I didn't know they were going to do that. And actually, when it comes to using pencil, the gaps in it that you can see in the grain, I'm not really a big fan of. That's why I like to have the wash in the background and have a few other bits and bobs going on. But this was really interesting to apply a little bit of water to it and just sort of make it all have that smooth look to it, so it doesn't look like it's been done with pencil. Very much do recommend that. People don't understand ADHD. I don't understand it either most of the time. But knowing that I've got it and knowing that it's the ADHD that prevents me from completing tasks and completing colouring pages is actually what spurred me on and got me to finish another page.